Equity holding of promoters and major investors. This query trigger enables you to find companies based on the names of its promoters and major equity investors. This information is available only for listed companies on a quarterly basis. Let us understand the functioning of this query trigger with the help of an example. Suppose we want to find companies where IDBI Bank was an equity holder with 1% or more equity holding as of 30th September 2015. To run this query, you need to follow 7 simple steps. The first step is to specify the investor for which the search is to be conducted. The options available are investors, new investors, and exited investors. The default selection is investors, and let us retain the same. The second step is to select the equity owner name. To do so, you can select the equity type from the drop-down list that contains 4 options: all, promoters, non-promoters, and logged-in shares. The default selection is all. Let us retain the default selection. Enter the equity owner name in the search box. You can search for equity owner name in 2 ways: auto search and pattern search. Auto search allows searching for an equity owner name by typing the initial characters of the name. Pattern search allows selection of an equity owner name by typing any part of the name of the equity owner. Let us use the auto search box and type the initial characters of the equity owner IDBI Bank. ProwessIQ will display the names of promoters, major investors that match the entries made. Select all the matched promoters, major investors by clicking on double arrow sign. The entries will appear in the adjacent box Selected Equity Owners. Repeat step 2 by entering the name of the equity owner with spaces, IDBI Bank, and select IDBI Bank from the matched entries. Click on the double arrow button to add more entries to the already selected equity owners. The third step is to select the indicators from the Select Indicator box and specify the range in the Range From and Range To boxes. Let us select the indicator %shares and enter the range 1 in the Range From box. The fourth step is to enter the appropriate date for which IDBI Bank was a major equity holder. Equity holding pattern data is available on a quarterly basis. Let us specify a date in the year-month format such as 201509 for the quarter ended September 2015. The date formats used in the query on dates and in the output dates are explained in the question mark icon just above the query on dates text box. The fifth step is to choose the appropriate domain. There are 2 domains available: all companies and companies in current OSE. Selection of the domain all companies means search is conducted over all the companies available in the Prowess database. Selection of the domain companies in current OSE means search is conducted on the companies available in the current output sheet. Let us select the domain all companies. The sixth step is to select the appropriate output destination from the Select Output Destination box. There are 3 formats possible. The first is the OSE format, which lists the names of the companies matching the criteria specified in the query trigger. Second output destination is the WS, which is the worksheet, which displays the company names along with equity owner data. The third output destination is the TXT output, which displays the same data in a text file. The location and the name of the text file can be changed by you. The default file name is mentioned under File Name. Let us select WS as our output destination. The seventh step is to click on the appropriate Execute option to run your query. Since we have selected all companies as our domain, we can select any one of the 3 Execute options. These are Add to Current OSE and WS, Send to new OSC and WS and replace current OSC and WS. Add to current OSC and WS will add the list of companies which have satisfied the criteria specified in the query trigger along with the data. OSC and WS will create a new OSC and WS of companies satisfying the criteria specified in the query trigger along with the data. Replace current OSC and WS will replace the contents in the current OSC and WS with the companies satisfying the criteria specified in the query trigger along with the data. Let us click on Add to current OSC and WS. After the query has been successfully executed, the New Outputs button will start blinking. Click on the New Outputs button. You will see that two outputs, OSC and WS, have been generated and are selected by default in the Output Downloader box. You can click on the Continue button to download both these outputs. ProwessIQ will display those companies where IDBI Bank was a major equity owner as of 30th September 2015 with 1% or more equity shares. The worksheet will display the list of companies with the data satisfying the criteria given in the query trigger. It also gives the list of companies which match the criteria in the output sheet of companies. To view the output sheet of companies, click on Output View and view the current sheet.